Life can feel like a storm, pandemics, conflicts, or personal battles that shake your core. But what if you could stand unshaken? Psalm 91 declares, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." These aren't just ancient words. They're your lifeline to fearless living. In the next 40 minutes, you'll uncover how this psalm can shield you from harm, ignite unshakable faith, and bring peace that defies chaos. Join our community of believers by liking and subscribing. You'll unlock weekly insights to fuel your spiritual journey. Your path to divine protection begins now. Stay with us. You've just heard the promise of Psalm 91, a shield against life's storms. But where did this powerful poem come from? And why does it resonate across centuries? Let's step back in time to uncover its roots and why it matters for you today. Psalm 91, nestled in the Book of Psalms, is often attributed to Moses, though some scholars point to David. Written during times of danger, wandering in deserts or facing enemies, this psalm was a battle cry of trust in God's protection. Imagine Moses leading a fledgling nation through wilderness, or David, hiding from Saul's spears, clinging to these words, "My refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." This isn't just history, it's a living promise. Psalm 91 is known as the soldier's psalm for good reason. During World War I and II, soldiers carried it in their pockets, believing its words shielded them from bullets and bombs. One story tells of a British regiment in 1917, reciting Psalm 91 daily. Miraculously, they suffered no casualties during a brutal battle. Coincidence? Or divine intervention? These stories show that God's word isn't stuck in the past. It's a lifeline for today's fears, whether it's a health crisis, financial strain, or personal doubts. The Psalm's core themes are timeless. God as your refuge, a fortress against danger, His angels guarding your steps, and His promise of deliverance, even when evil surrounds you. These aren't abstract ideas. They're practical tools for building resilience. Think about it. In a world of anxiety, what could be more empowering than knowing you're under divine protection? Psalm 91 offers a blueprint for fearless living, not by ignoring danger, but by trusting God's sovereignty over it. But how do these ancient words apply to your life? That's what we're about to explore. By diving into each verse, you'll see how Psalm 91 isn't just a prayer, it's a lifestyle. It equips you to face uncertainties with courage, to find peace in chaos, and to claim victory over fear. So let's turn the page and unpack these promises, verse by verse, to discover how you can dwell in God's secret place and live under His unshakable shadow. We've just seen how Psalm 91 has anchored believers through centuries of trials, from ancient deserts to modern battlefields. Now, let's open its pages and unpack its promises, verse by verse, to discover how you can claim God's protection in your life today. This isn't just a poem, it's a divine blueprint for living fearlessly. We'll break it down into 4 parts: finding God's secret place, escaping life's dangers, walking with angelic protection, and receiving God's personal promises. Let's dive in and see how these ancient words become your shield. Psalm 91 begins with a powerful invitation. "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." These verses aren't about a physical hideout, but a spiritual choice, to live intentionally in God's presence. The secret place is your heart's posture of trust, built through prayer, worship, and surrender. Think of it like a child running to a parent's embrace during a storm. That's where safety lies. Dwelling here isn't passive, it's active. It's choosing to start your day declaring, "God, you are my fortress." This choice rewires your perspective, turning fear into faith. Imagine facing a stressful workday or a health scare, knowing you're under God's shadow. The benefit? Unshakable peace that anchors you, no matter the chaos. Ask yourself, where are you dwelling, fear or faith? By choosing the secret place, you're already claiming the first promise of protection. Now the psalm gets vivid. "For He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you shall find refuge." These verses list dangers, traps, diseases, terrors by night, arrows by day. The fowler's snare is like a hidden trap, symbolizing sudden crises. Think financial ruin or betrayal. The pestilence evokes plagues or personal health battles. Yet, God promises deliverance. Consider a modern example. Sarah, a nurse during the 2020 pandemic, faced daily exposure to illness. She recited Psalm 91 each morning, clinging to "You will not fear the pestilence that stalks in darkness." Miraculously, she stayed healthy despite working in a hot spot. This isn't about denying danger, but trusting God's covering. The imagery of pinions, like an eagle's wings, means God shields you personally. You may see chaos around you, as verse 7 says, "1,000 may fall at your side, but it will not come near you." The benefit here is bold confidence. You can face life's threats knowing God's protection sets you apart. But how? It's about aligning with God's truth. These verses don't promise a trouble-free life, but a protected one. You're not immune to trials, but you're insulated by faith. Picture standing under an umbrella in a downpour. Rain falls, but you're dry. That's the promise for you today. Safety amid the storm. The psalm escalates. Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, no evil shall be allowed to befall you. Then, verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. This is where it gets supernatural. God assigns angels to protect you. Think of them as divine bodyguards. They don't just watch, they act, lifting you up so you don't stumble. Verse 13 is bold. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Lions and serpents symbolize fierce enemies, physical, emotional, or spiritual. Addiction, fear, or toxic relationships. You have authority to overcome them. Take Michael, a recovering addict, who leaned on this verse during rehab. Each time temptation roared like a lion, he declared, "I trample it under God's power." Today, he's free. That's the benefit. You're not just protected, you're empowered to conquer. This section isn't about recklessness, but confidence. Angels guard your steps, but you must walk in faith. Imagine driving through life with a divine escort. Obstacles lose their power. What could you face if you believed angels were at your side? This promise equips you to live victoriously, no matter the battle. Here, God himself speaks. Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. This is personal. God responds to your love and trust with action, deliverance, honor, long life, and salvation. The phrase "holds fast in love" means clinging to God like a lifeline. It's not casual faith, but a deep relationship. Verses 15 to 16 say, When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. This is God's covenant. Call and he answers. Trouble comes, but he's present. Think of Maria, a mother who prayed Psalm 91 over her sick child. Doctors gave little hope, but she called on God's name. Her child recovered, defying odds. This isn't magic, it's faith activating God's promises. The benefits are profound. Peace in crises, answered prayers, and eternal hope. Long life isn't just years, but a satisfied life, full of purpose. Salvation here is holistic, rescue now and forever. Ask yourself, what would change if you truly believed God answers your call? These verses invite you to love God deeply, trust his name, and watch him move. As we move forward, let's see how to make these promises practical in your daily life. We've just unpacked the promises of Psalm 91, God's secret place, his deliverance, angelic protection, and personal response to your faith. But how do you make these words more than poetry? How do you live them every day? That's where the rubber meets the road. Let's explore practical ways to weave Psalm 91 into your life, backed by real stories of people who've done it. By applying these truths, you can reduce anxiety, strengthen relationships, and build a faith that stands firm. Let's start turning promises into practice. First, consider memorizing Psalm 91. It's only 16 verses, but its power is immense. Start with one verse a day. Say, verse 1. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Write it on a card, stick it on your mirror, or set it as your phone's lock screen. Recite it each morning to anchor your heart in God's protection. This isn't just rote memorization, it's arming yourself with truth. Imagine facing a tough meeting or a doctor's visit reciting, He is my refuge and my fortress. The benefit? A mind reset from fear to confidence. Next, pray the psalm over your life. Use its words as a declaration. For example, before leaving home, say, "Lord, I dwell in your secret place today. Cover me with your wings." Personalize it for your family. God, guard my children from harm, as you promise in verse 11. This builds a spiritual habit, like putting on armor. Studies show consistent prayer reduces stress. Imagine the impact when it's fueled by God's word. You're not just praying, you're claiming divine protection. Let's see this in action through real stories. First, a historical example. In the 1800s, missionary John Paton faced danger in the South Pacific. Hostile tribes surrounded his home, but he prayed Psalm 91, trusting God's angels to guard him. That night, attackers fled without explanation. Paton later learned they saw glowing figures around his house, angels, just as verse 11 promises. His faith turned a threat into a testimony. Now, a modern story. Meet Anna, a single mother struggling with anxiety. In 2023, she started reciting Psalm 91 nightly, focusing on verse 5. "You will not fear the terror of the night." Over weeks, her panic attacks lessened. She says, "It was like God's words rewired my heart. I felt his peace." Anna's story shows the practical benefit, reduced stress and deeper trust. Her family noticed her calm, strengthening their bond. Finally, consider James, a businessman facing financial ruin in 2024. He clung to verse 14. "Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him." Praying this daily, he found clarity to make bold decisions, saving his company. James credits Psalm 91 for his courage and provision. These stories aren't outliers. They're proof that God's word works when you apply it. So, how can you start? Pause this video now and try this. Read Psalm 91 verses 1 to 2 aloud, personalizing it. "Lord, I dwell in your secret place." Feel the shift as you speak God's truth. Make it a habit, and you'll see benefits: less fear, stronger faith, and a sense of divine closeness. Up next, we'll tackle a tough question. What happens when trials still come? Let's explore how Psalm 91 holds up, even in life's hardest moments. You've seen how Psalm 91's promises can transform your daily life through practical steps and powerful testimonies. But what happens when trials still come? You might be thinking, if God promises protection, why do bad things happen to believers? It's a fair question, and Psalm 91 doesn't shy away from it. Let's address this head-on to see how these promises hold true, even in life's toughest moments, giving you resilience and hope. Psalm 91 isn't a magic spell that erases hardship. It's a covenant of God's presence. Verses like, "1,000 may fall at your side, but it will not come near you," don't mean you'll never face trials. Think of Job, who endured loss yet found God's faithfulness. Or consider modern believers who, despite suffering, testified to peace that surpasses understanding. The Psalm's promise is that God's protection operates through trials, not always around them. It's like a lighthouse guiding a ship through a storm. Danger is near, but you're secure. Here's the benefit. Embracing this truth builds unshakable resilience. When you trust God's sovereignty, setbacks become stepping stones to deeper faith. You're not denying pain but reframing it, knowing God is with you, as verse 15 says. "I will be with him in trouble." Doubt may whisper, does this really work? But countless believers, from ancient times to today, prove it does. Their stories, and yours, turn trials into testimonies of God's faithfulness. As we head to our conclusion, let's see how to claim these promises fully and live fearlessly every day. We've journeyed through Psalm 91, from its historical roots and verse-by-verse promises to practical applications, real-life testimonies, and even addressing those tough questions about trials. Now, as we wrap up, let's pull it all together. Psalm 91 isn't just a chapter in the Bible. It's God's personal invitation to you. Dwell in his secret place, and he'll cover you with his wings, command angels to guard you, and deliver you with his mighty hand. These aren't distant echoes from the past. They're living truths that can shield you from harm, ignite your faith, and flood your life with supernatural peace, no matter the chaos around you. Remember the core. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. This promise equips you for fearless living. You've seen how soldiers in wars, missionaries in peril, and everyday people like Sarah, Michael, Anna, and James have claimed it and witnessed miracles. You've learned to memorize its verses, pray them daily, and trust God's presence even in trouble. The benefits are real: reduced anxiety, stronger resilience, deeper relationships, and a life satisfied with God's salvation. Imagine waking up each day knowing you're protected, empowered, and loved by the Creator Himself. That's the life Psalm 91 offers. But knowing isn't enough. Action seals it. Start right now. Commit to reading Psalm 91 every morning for the next week. Declare its truths over your family, your work, your fears. Watch as God's promises unfold, turning your storms into stories of victory. And don't keep this to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs hope. It could be the lifeline they're searching for. To go deeper, visit our website for a free downloadable guide, Living Psalm 91, complete with printable declarations, a memorization plan, and more testimonies. It's your toolkit for divine protection. If this video has inspired you, hit that like button to help spread God's word, and subscribe for weekly faith-building content that empowers your spiritual journey. Together, we're building a community anchored in His promises. As we close, let's hear Psalm 91 in full, letting its words wash over you. Pause for a moment of reflection. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. For He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Because He holds fast to me in love, I will deliver Him. I will protect Him because He knows my name. When He calls to me, I will answer Him. I will be with Him in trouble. I will rescue Him and honor Him. With long life I will satisfy Him and show Him my salvation. Thank you for joining this journey into Psalm 91. May God's protection surround you always. Go forth fearlessly. He's got you covered.